On January 25, 1958, 12 years old Dennis Warschmidt went to a Boy Scout camping trip with his troop master and 11 other boys close to Mendocino National Forest. This was Dennis's first outing with the troop, and he was excited. After the boys arrived at the campsite, they unloaded their vehicle and started playing Capture the Flag in the confined area of the campsite. Late in the afternoon, one of the boys realized Dennis wasn't playing and was missing. All the boys and the adult started yelling Dennis's name and looking for him, but they had no success. After an hour of searching, the troop master called the officials and a search was started. As soon as the search started, a heavy rain and snow started in the area and continued for 3 days, which slowed down the search effort. On the second day of the search, the county sheriff stated that the boy would be fine if he managed to find shelter in the boulder-strewn gorge. After 3 days of snowing, the weather started to get better, but by that time there was 3 feet of snow on the ground. The search group included bloodhound dogs, 2 helicopters, airplanes, and lots of volunteers who looked for the boy. In an unfortunate turn of events, a head football coach from Chico State College was among the searchers for Dennis when he suddenly died of a heart attack during the search. On February 2nd, 8 days after Dennis went missing, searchers found the frozen body of Dennis lying in a grove of fir trees just 2 miles from the campsite the Boy Scout troop was staying at. This area was searched multiple times before this finding, and there was nothing there at those times. What really happened to Dennis remains a mystery to this day. "11 years old Casey Holiday was a developmentally disabled child who lived with his aunt at St. Mary's, Idaho. On October 14, 1990, Casey was in the yard playing with his St. Bernard dog when his aunt went to check on him, but she couldn't find Casey nor his dog. Holiday's residence was close to Alder Creek. Casey's aunt searched the yard and the area around the residence without finding anything. At this point, she called the sheriff and a search was started. His aunt said Casey was a bit slow and that he always stayed in the yard and the dog always kept him busy. His aunt said Casey had never gone outside the fence line of the yard. On the day Casey went missing, a heavy rain and wind started in the area and continued for several days. 100 searchers didn't find any tracks. Canine dogs didn't find any scent and helicopters didn't see any sights that showed where Casey may be. However, 2 days after Casey went missing, his aunt started driving a remote forest road she had never driven before looking for the 11-year-old boy. As she was driving, she found Casey miraculously. She stated, and I quote, "I know how I found him. God, that's how." End of the quote. Casey was found in a gully in an extremely remote road up from Alder Creek. He was found with blue toes, and his dog was also found close to the spot. He was not wearing any shoes. Casey's aunt couldn't explain why she was on that road that she had never been before. His aunt said when she found Casey, he was babbling and seemed in a daze. How Casey got lost and found by her aunt is a mystery. On July 23, 1998, the Richardson family went for a few days of hiking with relatives and family friends at Mount Graham, Arizona. Once the family reached the campsite, Mr. Richardson started helping the group by chopping woods and setting up the camp. As he was working, he lost sight of the 3-year-old Trent. The family soon realized Trent was missing and started yelling and searching the immediate area. They didn't find Trent, so they called the authorities and a search was started on the same day. The search effort included helicopters, bloodhound dogs, and lots of volunteers. On July 24th, one day after Trent went missing, a group of searchers were walking up the base of Mount Graham in a last-ditch effort to find Trent. As they were walking, they started to hear someone singing. It was a high-pitched voice which only could belong to a kid or a female. Searchers stated the sound came about 1,350 feet above them. They knew they had to find the source of the sound. Rescuers climbed the mountain and started yelling Trent's name. When they called his name, the singing and humming would stop. They continued walking up the mountain until they were almost at the summit when they found the boy's makeshift campsite at 7:40 a.m. His blanket spread beneath bushes sheltered by a boulder. Trent was sitting on a rock singing happily gibberish stuff. He was found 2 miles from the area his father had last seen him. Trent was found in a good condition despite being lost for more than 24 hours. The interesting part of this incident is if you look at Mount Graham, it appears almost impossible for a 3-year-old boy to climb to the summit. And why would he want to do that anyway? He knew his family was downhill and not uphill. Bloodhound dogs was at the scene only few hours after Trent went missing and they couldn't pick up the scent, which was strange. Trent was asked later on about his experience, but he didn't say much and it was hard to understand what happened during the time he went missing. We will never know what really happened to Trent during his disappearance.